In a move that no one saw coming, beloved Korean actor Jung Il-woo took to the podium at a hastily organized press conference in Seoul yesterday, revealing a piece of news that sent shockwaves across the entertainment industry. Dressed in an understated navy suit, his expression calm yet unreadable, the 37-year-old star leaned into the microphone and said with a measured tone, "I'm getting married." Within seconds, headlines exploded across major news outlets. Fans flooded social media with disbelief, elation, speculation, and in some cases, devastation. Jung Il-woo, the charming and soft-spoken heartthrob who had captured hearts in dramas like Cinderella and Four Nights and Moon Embracing the Sun, had always kept his personal life intensely private. Rumors came and went over the years, but nothing had ever been confirmed. And now, without any warning, was announcing his marriage. "I know this comes as a surprise to many," Jung continued, his voice steady but tinged with emotion. "I've found someone who brings peace to my heart, someone I've quietly loved and cherished. I believe it's time to begin this new chapter with her." But as reporters clamored for more details, Jung held firm, "Her identity will remain private for now. She is someone well known. We ask for your understanding and respect. We will share more when the time is right." The internet was ablaze. Who could the mystery bride be? Jung had rarely been seen with any women outside of drama sets or public events. Speculation mounted rapidly. Names like Shin Sak-young, with whom he co-starred in the past, began trending. Some guest idols like Una or Suzy. Dispatch, the infamous celebrity gossip hound of South Korea, went into overdrive trying to dig up any hidden connections. Yet what intrigued people the most wasn't just the secrecy, it was the quiet confidence and joy that radiated from Jung Il-woo during the announcement. There was no nervousness, no evasion, just certainty. Over the past decade, Jung had endured numerous ups and downs. He had survived a near-fatal car crash in 2006 that left him with partial memory loss. He completed his mandatory military service despite being diagnosed with the cerebral aneurysm. Despite these challenges, his work ethic remained impeccable. He returned to the screen again and again, never losing his gentle charisma. Perhaps this marriage, fans mused, was his long-deserved happiness. Industry insiders began offering their insights. One director who had worked with Jung said anonymously, "He's always been incredibly loyal and protective of those he loves. I'm not surprised he kept this under wraps for so long. That's who he is." Meanwhile, entertainment circles buzzed with whispers. According to one stylist close to a popular idol group, there had been rumblings for months that Jung was dating someone unexpected, but very respected. No one had guessed just how unexpected. As fans scoured old interviews, social media posts, and fan cams, you began to notice patterns. Jung Il-woo had attended a charity event in 2019 that had also featured former 2NE1 member Park Sandora, known to the world as Dara. Photos from the event showed them in the same frame, but standing apart, barely interacting. But more recently, sharp-eyed fans recalled that Jung had mentioned in a podcast last year, "There's someone I talk to when I'm confused. One who calms me down like no one else. She's not loud, she's peace." At the time, listeners assumed he meant his mother or a longtime friend. Now, that quote was being shared and dissected all over the internet. Park Dara had remained largely out of the dating limelight since her debut with 2NE1. Known for her youthful beauty, quirky fashion, and reserved nature, she was often labeled the mystery idol. Despite being adored by millions, her name rarely appeared in dating rumors. She herself once said in an interview, "I think love should be private. I don't want it to be on display." That made the current silence even more deafening. Then came the first major clue. A tabloid released a blurry photo of a man who appeared to be Jung Il-woo and a petite woman exiting a quiet restaurant in Gangnam late at night. Her face was partially obscured, but the hair and silhouette bore striking similarities to Dara. Speculation soared, yet no confirmation came, till today. Exactly 9 a.m. Jung Il-woo posted a handwritten letter on his personal Instagram. The caption was simple, "For those who have waited patiently." The letter, in both Korean and English, read, To all the fans who have supported me and walked with me through seasons of joy and struggle, I want to finally introduce the person who has walked beside me in silence, with grace and love. I'm honored to call Park Sandara the love of my life and my future." The comment section erupted, hundreds of thousands of likes poured in within the first hour. Fellow celebrities added their support. He left a string of heart emojis. Kim Bum wrote, "Knew it. Congrats, bro," and CL, Dara's former 2NE1 bandmate, he wrote, "Finally, in an industry where every detail of a celebrity's life is often scrutinized and publicized, the ability of Jung Il-woo and Park Dara to keep their relationship hidden was nothing short of astonishing." But it was more than just secrecy, it was mutual respect, loyalty, and a shared value for privacy. Suddenly, everything made sense. Their shared appearances at low-key charity events, Instagram posts from similar locations but at different times, even the matching bracelets months spotted on both their wrists months apart. As fans took in the news, the reaction began to shift from disbelief to warmth. Artists, fans, and critics alike acknowledged that this pairing, while shocking at first, somehow felt right. They were both survivors of fame, of loneliness, of quiet perseverance in an industry that rarely allows for real, personal joy. The wedding, it was revealed, would be held privately on Jeju Island, with only close friends and family attending. No media would be allowed, and no official photos would be released immediately. The couple would share their own moments when they were ready. But the biggest twist was yet to come. According to a source close to both stars, their love story had begun nearly 5 years ago, before the headlines and the Instagram posts. The story began in silence, subtle, unpublicized, and quietly profound. Started at a charity benefit dinner in the winter of 2019. Both Jung Il-woo and Park Dara were invited guests, supporting a campaign for underprivileged children in Southeast Asia. Dara had just returned from the Philippines, where she often visited to support educational initiatives. Jung, deeply moved by the same cause, attending as a private donor, they shared only a brief conversation that night, centered around their experiences working in different philanthropic sectors. But something clicked. Dara would later tell a close friend, he listened, not just with his ears, but with his entire presence. Over the next year, their paths crossed sporadically. They weren't in the same circles, but they found ways to stay in touch. Text messages turned into deep phone calls. Occasional lunches turned into long walks by the Han River, disguised under baseball caps and oversized coats. Jung was filming back-to-back dramas. Dara was working on solo music and brand endorsements. But time, they found, was something they were willing to make for each other. In 2021, during the filming of a travel-themed reality show, the public got a rare glimpse of their chemistry. Although they weren't paired as a romantic couple, fans noticed subtle moments, an exchanged glance, a shared laugh, the ease of being in each other's presence. The kind of intimacy that wasn't performative, it was simply there. Their relationship remained hidden. Dara, still under contract with Jin Entertainment at the time, knew that public romance could easily eclipse her hard-earned independence. Jung, ever respectful of her privacy, never pushed for exposure. "We're not hiding, we're just protecting," he told a confidant. But not everything was smooth. In 2022, the couple hit a rough patch. Rumors started to swirl about Jung possibly dating an actress from a recent co-starring drama. The buzz caused tension. For Dara, the threat of public misinterpretation felt overwhelming. They reportedly took a break, described by insiders as a cooling-off period. Was a phone call during the Chuseok holidays that changed everything. Jung had suffered a minor spinal injury on set. Dara, without hesitation, flew back from a shoot in Thailand and stayed by his side for a week. According to hospital staff, didn't act like a celebrity. She just looked like someone who deeply cared. That week marked the turning point. They no longer tiptoed around what they had. They began planning for the future, not publicly, but with quiet determination. Their relationship was built on shared values. Both had experienced the isolating nature of fame. Both had survived heartbreaks and setbacks. And both understood the healing power of quiet companionship. Dara once said, Never made me feel like I had to be more than I am. I could just be me. In early 2024, Dara left Jung Entertainment and launched her own creative label. Jung, too, began stepping back from leading roles, focusing more on script writing and producing. Many speculated burnout or a shift in priorities. Now, fans see those moves in a new light. The wedding on Jeju Island was as intimate as they had envisioned. Guests included only their closest friends, no more than 50 people. Lee Jung-suk, CL, Gong Hyo-jin, and Eun-na were in attendance. No media. No paparazzi. Just handwritten vows exchanged beneath the canopy of spring cherry blossoms. According to one guest, didn't even use microphones. Their voices were enough. You could hear the sincerity. There wasn't a dry eye. Dara wore a minimalist hanbok-inspired dress designed by a longtime friend. Jung wore a classic charcoal gray suit. Couple walked hand in hand through a field of wildflowers after the ceremony, sharing private jokes and laughing like teenagers. CL, who performed an acoustic rendition of a 2NE1 song as a tribute, later shared, "She finally found someone who gets her. I'm happy for both of them." After the ceremony, the newlyweds released a single photo, a silhouette of them standing under the stars, captioned only, "Our journey begins." Their story is not one of public passion or flashy headlines. It's a story of patience, growth, and unwavering support. It's about two people who had been through the storm, and each other, found calm. As one fan commented, "They didn't just fall in love, they built it, stone by stone, day by day, in quiet rooms and unspoken gestures." An era where relationships are often reduced to speculation and spectacle, Jung Il-woo and Park Darum offered something refreshingly real. A love story that wasn't performed, but lived. In doing so, they've reminded millions that the most beautiful romances are often the ones we don't see coming, but always hoped exist.